All right. Hi, guys. Welcome. As always, welcome aboard. Welcome back. Welcome home. Wherever you are in relation to this channel and this conversation. After 4 unsuccessful attempts yesterday to get this recorded, I am recording this today on Monday, the 12th of July, our weekly What's Up, all the way through the 18th. So let's talk about what's happening right now. So we have a Leo moon, and Mercury has moved into Cancer. So that's a little energetic shift, right? So let's talk about what's going on. Monday, the 12th, right? So we have that beautiful Leo moon in conjunct the moon, Venus, and Mars, all in Leo. Right, and then Mercury, that newly minted Mercury in Cancer, is going to trine retrograding Jupiter in Pisces in the afternoon. Right, and then that moon is going to move in conjunct to Neptune and Pluto this evening. And of course, all times are Central Time that I'm talking about. So, why, thank you. So we are, isn't that pretty? We're talking about speaking, right, into the heart of your expansion, right, claiming your blessings. And a theme, right, that I'm picking out of this week is how we move from the personal to the transcendent, or how we bring the transcendent into the personal for each one of us. So keep that in mind, right? And with this energetic today, right, with that big Neptune in conjunction of that moon, Venus, Mars, how do you dive into the depths of your experience? Right, so let's carry that into Tuesday. On Tuesday, the moon moves into Virgo at about 3:30 in the morning, and that's beautiful, right? Virgo moon is gorgeous. Virgo is that priestess energy, right? That knowing energy, that innate knowing energy, right? The second earth sign, and then Venus conjuncts Mars at 19 degrees Leo, about 8:30 in the morning. Now, Venus is the planet of 3D love, right? She is about our sensual experience, what we taste, see, hear, smell, and touch, what we feel, how we create, our sense of comfort, our sense of physical experience, right? What we experience through our refinement, how we choose our physical experience. And then Mars, of course, the planet of action, the planet of passion, right? The planet of how we live in the world, that energy of what we create, what we are inspired by. To have them both in Leo, right, is gorgeous, right? Leo is that very self-directed, self-reliant energy, very hot, very fun, very passionate, very present in that moment. So to have that experiential, passionate, tactile experience in Leo, right, that beautiful conjunction of energies is absolutely gorgeous, especially under this Virgo moon, keeping that energy grounded. And then that Venus moon also makes some aspects, right? Opposition to Jupiter, sextiling Mercury, and then in conjunct Saturn, right? Creating that balance in that expansion, right? Allowing us to be in communication with, right? And then that Virgo Saturn, how can I do this better, right? How can I do it more efficiently? How can I carry forth this conjunction of energies within my personal experience into the transcendent, into my social arena, into the avenues of my life? Right? Those are big questions. How do I carry forth this beautiful energy within me, right? And create within service. So that's a big deal. On Wednesday, the moon, that Virgo moon again, right, makes some aspects to Chiron and Uranus and the sun and Neptune. So here's what I'd like to say. On Wednesday, mind your self-critic, right? Mind your self-critic. And then we've got Neptune in conjunct that Venus-Mars conjunction. So again, creating the opportunity to dive deeply, again, with that personal, with that transcendent, right? The moon creating that function. So again, we're going to really be challenged to refuse to be held to your old patterning. Y'all, what's going on with these cards? Really being in that energy of creating yourself within the balance, right? And as Neptune, as Neptune is in conjunct that Venus-Mars conjunction, in conjunct the conjunction, remember that Neptune is also in retrograde, right? So that is about having no illusions, right, within that transcendence, right? It's really being able to capture your personal essence within that transcendent energy, especially given the fact that we're talking about Pisces and Leo together. I mean, what a beautiful opportunity for growth. On Thursday, the sun trines Neptune, bringing that self energy right in line with that transcendence again, super early in the morning. And then Chiron goes retrograde in Aries, right? So that retrograde energy in Chiron is going to create an opportunity where you get to dive into your health, your healing, your wounds, right? And especially as Neptune is retrograde as well. This is about being able to witness them in clarity, in their full like get the vista, right? Get the beautiful vista of what's going on and how to do that healing, right? The moon moves into Libra that morning. And so that's going to then have some aspects to Jupiter and Mercury. So you at your deepest, right, get to feel beyond where you're bound, and really dive into home as that feeling. And as Chiron moves retrograde, you get to find your inner balance, right, with that Libra moon. The key, of course, to those later on Jupiter and Mercury aspects, not overpromising, right? Staying within your own, I don't want to say reality because limitlessness is a real thing, but don't overpromise to yourself, right? Know what's possible in the immediate and know what's possible in potential, and don't confuse the two. Yeah, especially with Chiron retrograde, because those lights are going to be magnified in your depths, right? You might have some things come up that you didn't expect for healing. You'll be able to heal them, but just know that, know where you are in relation to those. Then on Friday, Venus is in conjunct Neptune. The moon trines Saturn, opposes Chiron, is in conjunct Uranus, and sextiles Mars. So we're talking about the higher and lower octaves of your heart, right? The challenge, of course, is to make the planes aligned, which is always the challenge, right? To be the bridge for that Leo and Pisces energy, right? The self and the transcendent. So how can you bridge that gap? How can you blur the line? How can you really stand as the event horizon and be in your feelings about what's personal, about what's transcendent, and how they're both the same? Right, and so there's always help available, right? And if it feels very sudden, right, with those Uranus transits to the moon, just make sure that you're staying in the flow, right? Soft knees is a thing that I often say when we come to those Uranus transits. Mind your soft knees, right? Especially since that Uranus is in Taurus, you'll always have the ability to ground, right? Just witness your energy expanding in your root, in your feet, and that will help you stay grounded. Then on Sunday is an interesting day. There's a lot of inconjunct energy, right? Venus is in conjunct Pluto. Mercury is in conjunct Saturn. Mars is in conjunct Neptune. So again, we're talking about personal and transcendent. We're talking about personal and transpersonal, literally. So it's about coming into balance. And by the way, the moon goes into Scorpio on Saturday afternoon. So we're talking about all of this personal and transcendent and personal and interpersonal under a Scorpio moon. I see you in there, friend. So as we talk about that with the Scorpio moon, that Scorpio moon is asking us to dive as deeply as we can, right? And to push the boundaries of personal. Because we know, Scorpio is that 8th house energy, right? It's the next step in from that one-on-one relation energy that is Libra, right? Scorpio creates the union, the depth, the asking more, right? The asking that you step out of the bounds of simple one-on-one relationships and you go into that kind of supra-consciousness, right, with who or whatever it is that you're looking to be in relation to. So as the moon makes those aspects that day to Mercury and Saturn and Chiron and Uranus, again, we're talking about healing from that personal into the transpersonal, the from your experience to the greater experience, right? To step up beyond your own personal 3D experience into the broader experience of your soul, right? Because we're not just talking about here I am and this is what I'm doing today, but how is it serving my soul, right? We step beyond our mundane into our embodiment, right? If we're not an embodiment, then we're just kind of plodding about. But if we can stand it as the observer, the observed and the observing, right, and the observation, bring that 4D in there, then this is how it works. Wow, King of Wands. So Sunday might feel a little bit discordant, right? But super deeply transformational, right? We're talking about 3D transformations, right? Of your heart that you can shift. Communication, right? Where are you bound? But where can you speak into your truth and thus break those bonds? What is it that you're doing, right? What is an illusion? And what is absolutely not able to be diverted, right? How can you not distract your attentions and really know that you're moving in alignment, right? When Neptune is in conjunct Mars. I see you, of course. So there's really a lot of possibility for major trajectory shifts this week and big giant up levels as long as you stay in your lane. And what I mean by that is not to keep yourself limited, but to stay in your lane, right? Your alignment, your truth. That is what I mean by staying in your lane, not minding your P's and Q's, not just living within your prescribed limitations, right? Saturn has a lot of key aspects this week, but these big transpersonal planets, Pluto, Neptune, they are asking you to stay in your alignment. And that is what I mean when I say stay in your lane, because the potential is limitless as long as, yeah, buddy, as long as you are being mindful of the fact that your personal experience is what directs your transpersonal growth, and your transpersonal experience is always shaped by your personal growth, right? So that is very definitely okay. How things are rolling this week, very definitely. Okay, so let's talk. So Monday, right? We talked about Monday as being the day that Mercury trines Jupiter, and we've got that beautiful in conjunction with Neptune, and then that moon, Mars, and Venus, right? So we have the chariot and the moon. Okay, the chariot we know is about balanced forward motion, and I love it that we have this Cancer card coming in, right? As we have Mercury just moving into Cancer, right? So we're talking about speaking into the heart of your expansion, right? So how do you do that? Well, let's talk about it. So the chariot is about balanced forward motion, right? We always have the reins of two horses. And so the key to the chariot is to move forward in balance, right? If you get off balance in one, you're going to go to one side or the other. You're not going to stay true. You're not going to be able to just keep on that alignment with your own true north. Now the moon, hello, is asking us, what's in your depths, right? What is your intuition telling you? Both of these cards are cards of deep intuition, of deep mystery, of how you interact with that mystery, right? And so we have the moon, Venus, and Mars in conjunct Neptune. Are you in alignment? Are you following your true north? Are you going in the direction that your soul is asking you, right? Is what you're accomplishing really in alignment with your soul's purpose? How is your personal meeting the transcendent, right? So that's a great way to start the week. On Tuesday, right, this is the day that Venus and Mars are conjunct. So, of course, we have the Three of Cups, a beautiful card of celebration in terms of emotion, right? If you really wanted to find a card of Venus conjunct Mars in Leo, I think the Three of Cups is beautiful. It's a card of celebration. It's a card of joy. It's a card of happiness. It's a card of abundance, right? It's that card of happy. And then, interestingly enough, right, we've got that Virgo moon. Remember, we talked about how can I do this better? How can I do this more efficiently? Right? So we've got the Four of Swords asking us, how can we be more in balance, right? This is that card of in our own healing, where do we find our inspiration and ideas, right? Well, that's a beautiful way to encapsulate that energy. Right Where is our service? Where is our balance? Where is our expansion? How can we do this better? How can we maintain this energy, right? We talked about that. How do I carry forth this amazing experience of Venus conjunct Mars in Leo? Definitely something to ruminate on, to make decisions about, right? This is about your ideas of your balance in your the way that you're going to carry it forth, right? What your ideas about it are going to be, what you've distilled out from the experience. On Wednesday, this is our day to mind our self-critic. Remember, we talked about how Neptune is going to be in conjunct Mars and Venus, right? And so this is about really, really stepping into the function of your feelings within the balance of the personal and the transcendent, refusing to be stuck by your old patterns, right? Being in that real self-creation mode with no illusions. And so we're talking about the Six of Swords, right? Which is about moving away, right? We're moving away from this emotional turbulence. We're moving out into these calmer waters because we have made peace, right, with our ideas, with wherever our ideas were out of balance. And then the Seven of Pentacles, of course, is about having sown, knowing that the seeds will blossom and bloom, knowing that abundance is on the way, simply because you have sown, right? You have put in the effort, you have done the work, and it's time to transition from one aspect, one set of circumstances into the next, right? And there's always a little help available for those who have done that work. So this is about trusting that transition from personal to transcendent, right? Knowing that it's facilitated straight from the universe. Then on Thursday, this is that beautiful Sun trine Neptune, and Chiron goes retrograde. Okay, so let's talk about Chiron retrograde. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Wands. All right, so we know that Chiron is the wounds that we come in with, right? The situations that we come in with, the things that we have to do the work to heal ourselves from. And then we are called to hold that space and help others. Whether that is simply through example and inspiration, or whether it's an active space holding, counseling, coaching kind of position, that just depends on your personal journey, right? But this is about you at your deepest, right? Feeling beyond any kind of boundaries that you may have put upon yourself, right? Because we know that that's really what all these swords are talking about. So the Seven of Swords, the way that it always breaks down is that we've got 5, which is conflict, and 2, which is about making choices, right? About not being in your blindness. So the Seven of Swords always feels to me like, how are you holding on to your self-deception? And that's a great question for the day that Chiron goes retrograde. Are you holding on to your self-deception? That Virgo moon and then moving into a Libra moon is not going to allow it. Where are you defending, right? Nine of Wands is a card of defense, right? It's a card of holding on. You see, I mean, you can see him. He's standing in front of this wall, and he's very committed to its defense. So the question on Thursday is, how are you at your deepest feeling either bound or free, right? And again, you have opportunity to move away from those things or to dig in. That is a choice. It's always a choice. Two of Swords is a card of choice, right? You making choices about what you believe. You can believe whatever you'd like. You can defend whatever you'd like, but if you've not explored the why, as Chiron goes into retrograde, that might be a great idea to dig into. Friday. Okay, seriously, we have Venus in conjunct Neptune. And then we've got that Libra moon making all of those beautiful aspects, right? And we talked about this being a day where the challenge is to make your planes in alignment, right? And be that bridge, that Leo Pisces energy, right? Personal and transcendent. Okay, look, we're talking about the King of Wands, right? The King of Wands, of course, is that fire energy. So again, we're talking about a hot week anyway with Venus conjunct Mars. So this is like supernova hot, right? The King of Wands is about how we act on our motivations or how we reserve our energy. This is passion, right? He is the embodiment of being in control of your passions. So what a beautiful way to contemplate how your personal becomes your transcendent, right? If you're overwhelmed by your passions, if you let your passions get ahead of you, then you're not in flow with them, right? And if we're talking about the higher and lower octaves of love, of the heart, of your feelings, and we are with Venus and Neptune, right? Neptune is better felt than spoken. And Venus is all about the feelings. If we let those get ahead of ourselves, then we kind of spontaneously combust, right? And the goal is not to be self-immolating, right? The goal is to be self-sustaining, right? To have that beautiful, smoldering, passionate energy that just keeps a slow burn and keeps everything moving as opposed to getting stuck. So as you create that connection, that connectivity between your personal and your transcendent, as you really become the embodiment of that bridge between those two states of being, just contemplate, right, the why, right? King of Wands, always in control of his why, knows his why. So feel into that. Saturday, right? The sun is in opposition to Pluto. And then that beautiful Libra moon does a lot of dancing, and then the moon moves into Scorpio. So this is about being at home with your transformation, right? The sun opposed to Pluto, balancing your power. The key to this day is change is the new normal, right? Change being the new normal. And definitely feeling super dicey if you're not in alignment, right? Because the sun is your identity, your selfness, right? And as it's opposed to Pluto, we are really being asked to step into our power, step into our transformation. And once that moon moves into Scorpio midday, right? It's going to be about setting fires. And so if you're setting fires to things that you don't have to spare, you're going to have to really make up for that later. So Six of Cups is about that beautiful energy of unconditional love. It's that childish, not childish, childlike, right? That wonder, that beautiful, pure state of love. And then we have the star, which of course is wish fulfillment. This is a divinely blessed feeling, divinely blessed guidance, looking to the stars, right? Looking to that state of divine abundance. And as the sun is in opposition to Pluto, that polarity is activated, right? And so you have access to that divine love, right? So we're again talking about the personal and the transpersonal, right? The sun is opposed to Pluto, the personal planet and the transpersonal planet in balance. So again, change is the new normal. Be at home with your transformation. Don't be so committed to any one version of who you are that you're not willing to shift and change that as the universe invites you, right? You get to step in with all yourself. So you might want to pay attention where the universe is shooting that out for you, guiding you, inviting you. on Sunday. We talked about this day as that day of inconjunctions, right, with this beautiful Scorpio moon. So again, we're talking about discordant but also deeply transformational possibilities to shift your trajectory, right? Giant up levels if you're staying in your lane. So again, we have the moon. The moon is, it's that intuitive, it's that mystery, it's that, it's your feelings, right? It's about what is illuminated and what is kept in the dark. It's about really being comfortable as the divider, as the event horizon, right? Of witnessing yourself as that liminal space between those two things. And then the Empress, look, we're talking about every possibility. Super fertility in terms of whatever you plant, right? We're talking about, really allowing these energies to come into fruition. Whatever you choose to sow in the seeds of this moon card, right? In the seeds of these big inconjunctions, right? We're talking about heart and truth and what you're doing to create from your soul, right? The personal and the transpersonal, your actual 3D life and that which you're here to transcend, right? How you step into that energy. Everything is available if you are in your lane, your truth, right? There's nothing that is not able to be manifested, right? You've already done that work. You know what's coming, and all you have to do is welcome it. Say, yes, please. We've got, of course, number 75. Love outlives us all. We all know that's true. And we know it's true from not only from our experience, but from everything that the universe tells us, from everything that the world tells us, from everything that life tells us. We know that the only thing that's going to be around forever is love, because that's the nature of our being, right? That's our essence. So how do you get more? Well, you embody it, right? You embody it. The Oracle card we have this week, number 26. Happy. I mean, could you ask for something better, right? Here we go. Joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. Your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You are free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy, moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. The tide is in. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. Right? So we're talking about the embodiment, right? Again, the personal as representation of the transpersonal, and the transpersonal as that ability to expand into, right? You don't seek happiness, you choose it, you become it. You don't look for it, right? You just allow it. And that's a choice. And if you choose it, everything's illuminated, right? Woo, y'all, it's a big week. We will talk again about Chiron moving retrograde. Here's what I'd like you to know. Stay in your lane. We've got a lot of amazing transits coming up. Venus is going to move into Virgo. The Sun is going to move into Libra or to Leo. Mercury is going to move into Leo. Jupiter's going to back into Aquarius. And then Mars is going to move into Virgo as well. So there's a lot of ways getting ready to come in the next few weeks, right? About you, your health, your ideas of service, your ideas of your identity, and how you are in service not only to you, but to the collective as well, right? So this concept of personal and transpersonal as a transcendent pathway, right? As your ascension is not going to go away. This is going to be around for a while. So just explore it, feel into it, see how it resonates, see how it feels for you, and be willing to make those adjustments, right? Always be in flow with yourself and the universe. Stay in your lane, right? Big blessings. We'll talk again soon.